So here you have a selection of plants, and I'm going to start by talking about the kind of plants that we've got here, because people ask those kinds of questions. So all of these ones with the terrible thorns, they are cactus plants. And the origin of these plants, in fact, is South American, but by now, of course, they've been here for so long in our country that they are actually South African also. These plants are succulents, so they are the plants that you would find in the Namaqualand and that you would find in the Karoo. All of these plants need very little water, and they're very interesting. They're like crocodiles. They will grow as large as the container that they are in. If a crocodile is in a small pool, it will be a small crocodile. If it's in a big pool, it will be a bigger crocodile. So they won't grow terribly big in here, but if you took this little cactus out and put it into the garden, it will probably become something as big as this. So they don't use a lot of water. They need to use water in summer about once a week, and it's important to put the water right on the roots so that it goes down and it waters the roots. Some of the shops use a sprayer, but that doesn't work well enough because some water has to go in there and spray is not sufficient. So about once a week. If it's very hot, you can even water this twice a week with about a teaspoonful in these little ones, a spoonful into the bigger ones. The succulents drink a little bit more, so they can take a bigger spoonful of water. In winter, if the aircon is dry, continue with it once a week. If the aircon is not so dry, then you can even water it once every 2 weeks. So this is also what you would say to customers, that it needs about this much water. Cactus plants are very robust and they won't die because they don't get light, but they will do better in light. So they won't grow if they don't get light, and they will eventually die without light. But you could put a plant like this very easily onto something like a windowsill, or even deeper into on a coffee table, something like that. It will be fine in there, provided it gets the water that it wants. People ask also about whether they can put these things outside. You certainly can put it outside on a porch, and even if it gets wet once in a while from rain that kind of gets driven in, that would be fine. But over time, of course, the wood would start taking damage if you put it outside in the rain. A shoe like this, similarly, wouldn't do well outside in the rain. It would recover, but it wouldn't look like what it looks like right now. So underneath something, rather than just out in the open. Kettle, the plants will start dying because if it rains as much as it rained this summer, for example, it will start drowning because the drainage would just simply not be sufficient. So rather put it in a place where you can control the amount of water that goes in. So how to merchandise the plants? There's really no specific guidelines other than whatever the different products are, each of them should be visible. It's probably better to put the same kind of products together rather than putting one here and one there with one in between, because customers are walking through a whole shop and their eyes won't catch a particular kind of product. So if you see here, the plants have been displayed with their front side to the front, rather than displayed like this, for example, with their side to the front. So get the plant so that their front looks to the front. With the exception of the big plant, it's simply too big, it takes up too much space, so typically it goes into the shelf like this. But all the others look forward rather than look to the back. So if you look at a thing like this, it makes a difference. This is the front, not this. So it is important to put it in a way where the best side in fact shows. I always say, if you meet a new girlfriend, you don't show your bum or your side, you show your front. So do the same with the plants. And make a display that is interesting as much as you can with whatever stock you have at that moment.